Okay.
Alright. My name's Ormaster 101. Zero Yeti's choking on water or something.
So,
And today, I didn't really feel like trying to find anything or really thinking too hard about a game, so I pulled out Binding of Isaac again because it's a fun game.
I guess first random fact is there's enough gold to cover the entire Earth by 13 inches. However, most of that gold is in the Earth's core.
Ooh, fancy.
I guess second random fact is there's these douchebags that like to race their cars down my street. Um, and there have been several instances where I like had to like jump out of the way
Oh,
to
that.
avoid being run over. But earlier today, I just didn't, and I just stood there in the middle of the road waiting for him to hit me. And he didn't hit me. Instead, he swerved and ended up driving through my neighbor's yard. Uh,
Oof. I mean, I guess that's what you get for driving like a jackass.
like seriously, they're going 50 down a 30-mile road. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super dangerous.
Especially because this is inside of a town.
Yeah, like if you're doing this like on a like some place where there's not a lot of people, uh still super annoying, but like nobody's gonna get hurt off of it. But if you're doing it in a densely populated area, go fuck yourself.
All money, no whammies.
Oh, money, no whammies.
Big money, no whammies.
God, I
In
remember.
February of, sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. No, it was. I was just gonna say that I was obsessed with that game show when I was younger.
What game show is that?
Um, Whammy.
In February of 1978, an amateur adventurer named Dave Wolkler walked across a frozen Lake Erie on foot, departing by the coast near Sandusky, Ohio, one morning and then arriving the next evening in Colchester, Ontario,
Uh-huh.
a distance of around 28 miles.
Huh, and nothing bad happened?
Nope,
Good for him.
he even set up camp overnight.
Neat.
Americans purchase approximately 6.5 billion greeting cards each year. Birthday cards, followed by sympathy cards, are the most popular.
I'm glad you continued that statement because I thought you said something completely different.
What did I say?
I thought you said breeding cards, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
It's the ultimate. It's the original slide into your DMs.
I mean, yeah, didn't people used to post like personal ads for when they wanted to get hook up and get freaky?
Yeah,
I definitely know personal ads were the original way on how people would hook up.
yesterday Chile voted to legalize same-sex marriage.
Good for Chile.
Uh, this is on the eve of an election where they will decide between a young up-and-coming socialist or an old fascist to rule their country.
Isn't that just sort of like... This is gonna sound very dismissive of politics right now, but isn't that just sort of how politics is right now? Just like, hey, you could have this like choice that doesn't suck or fascist, and it's like, well, we want the non-fascist choice, and it's like, well, you're gonna get the fascist choice, and it's like, why? Because old people are still allowed to vote.
I mean, you're underestimating the old neoliberal asshole who, while not advocating for death camps is doing nothing to stop the formation of death
Yeah,
camps,
no, I know what
but
you mean.
everyone needs to vote for them because they're the one who has the best chance of being the guy who wants to build new death camps.
Yeah,
And totally don't vote for the one who actually gives a fuck about actually closing the death camps.
that I know who you're talking about. I think.
In other news, apparently Viacom CBS bought out Wattpad and is now going to mine the website for stories to adapt into original series to stream on Paramount Plus.
Wow, they're really gonna strike a fucking gold mine there. You know, all the fucking um like what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, all of the fucking One Direction, like my mom sold me as like you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
And
but
like
also it's doubly fucked up by the sense of they don't have to give any credit to the authors
oh yeah, no, totally, it's super fucked up.
at all.
So yeah, if you have a Wattpad account and you uh don't want fucking Paramount Plus, if you don't want it to be a series without your permission,
Shut off Wattpad. Yep.
yeah, get it off Wattpad.
Just move it to like AO3 or something.
Yeah, like AO3 all the way. Just like I need people to realize that AO3 was made for a reason because every other every other thing has sucked. Just like fanfiction.net, fucking LiveJournal, all that sucks.
There's an NFT company that is literally selling pictures of the Amazon rainforest while the Amazon rainforest is being cleared to make room for power plants to produce NFTs.
What is the word I am like? How do I explain like? How could the concept of money, like, money's already fake, let's agree on that, right?
Money's fucking worthless. Like
Yeah.
it's a made up concept that we just created.
Yeah,
It's like it's not real.
and then like crypto and like NFTs are just like, hey, let's take the let's take the concept of money, which is like, you know, something fake already, and let's make it even more fake, but also bad for the environment. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's like, or whenever people are talking about like, hey, it's like we can't just print more money to address social. Why? You do it to bail out corporations.
Yeah. Like,
Obviously,
inflation only happens because people cause it.
It's like you said, like all of the shit you said that would happen if we just printed money and added it to the economy didn't happen when we did that.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that to float the stock market. We can actually do that for real things that matter.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason we have homelessness, the only reason we have food scarcity, the only reason we have lack of access to healthcare, the only reason we have intense medical debt is because we let it happen. We have all of the resources necessary to just solve those. But
The only
because we invented something, because we decided to give arbitrary value to pieces of paper,
the only reason why
or
I don't
not even pieces of paper, oftentimes fucking digital numbers.
a a fucking digital code that's hidden in a fucking monkey picture. Not even a good a well drawn monkey picture. I might add. I might add.
Reminded of the fucking that meme where it's like the Virgin NFT versus the Chad Commission.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like with the commission, you actually own it.
I have. I'm gonna admit it right now. I've seen a lot of not safe for work stuff involving the NFT mascots, just like as like a mocking thing, you know. Like,
I mean, I don't even like that because they're just so ugly. Like,
oh yeah, no, they're hella ugly. Did you know that they made a cartoon involving these characters?
yeah, and it cost several $1,000,000 to make, and legitimately, people making fan animations of warrior cats have better animation
Yep.
quality.
Yep.
Fucking Shrek Retold has better animation
Shrek.
quality.
What is Shrek Retold exactly?
Shrek Retold is a fan-made version of Shrek, where a bunch of different content creators chose individual like
Oh, okay, okay.
scenes of the movie
It's a
and
Shrek reanimated.
animated them, or some of them did live action skits. Yeah, some of them did live action skits, like the whole opening is live action.
Huh.
Um, it's just people dressed as Shrek. um, but yeah, it's basically that they did it for Shrek and for Shrek 2.
Ooh, I want to watch that.
They also did it for, I believe it got taken down from YouTube, but I believe it's somewhere else up. They did it for Moana as well.
Ooh, fancy. I've seen like the what's it called? The Legend of Zelda like CDI series reanimated. What else have I seen reanimated? Just like people who do reanimations are like they're super cool.
Yeah. I know,
Sometimes.
I guess back to more random facts. Sorry, continue, you were saying.
No, it's okay. I was just like sometimes it's like this beautiful like golden age Disney esque animation for one frame, and then it's just puppets.
Just puppets or like fucking obvious memes. It's just. But Meatloaf's "Bat Out of Hell" is the fourth best-selling record of all history, with only Michael Jackson's Thriller, AC/DC's Back in Black, and Whitney Houston's Bodyguard selling more.
Huh.
Uh, there are 400. There's a book of 435 illustrations called "The Birds of America" by John Audubon's, which features 1,037 species of birds, all drawn life-sized.
Completely different from what I was thinking. Where it's it's like the well painted birds, and it's like those weird quotes like "I would sell your soul to Satan for one corn chip," or uh, "The risk I took was calculated, but man, am I bad at math." Is that a different book?
That's the audiobook. That's the audiobook version.
The audiobook
Where
version?
just every page is just quotes from the birds. There are four major artificial sweeteners, being saccharin, xylomate, aspartame, and sucralose. and were all discovered after scientists accidentally tasted the chemicals.
Don't, just a friendly reminder, don't taste your chemicals unless you know it's not going to kill you.
But that's how you get sucrose.
That's what they fucking get you. I'm kidding.
The liquor diluted with water is absorbed faster than straight alcohol.
That makes sense.
Game of checkers dates back as far as 3000 BCE.
You know what I'm curious about? Where did cooties like originate from? You know what I'm talking about, right?
The rumor,
Yeah, like the
like the schoolyard
concept.
rumor.
Yeah.
Sexism.
I,
When did sexism start?
I mean, God, I walked into that one.
I know. I know the concept of family being consisting of just blood relatives is an incredibly recent invention, like societal invention, in terms of like human existence, because for hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of years, and still to this day in many populations around the world, family includes anyone you grew up with or anyone that like lives in your village or community.
Oh yeah, that's such a wild fucking
Um,
thing. Like, family's only made up of like blood relatives, but then you have like sayings like it takes a village to raise a child or something, and it's like, okay, if
because that's literally how it used to be.
yeah.
Because like you see it in like other cultures, like in Hawaii,
Mhm.
basically people will call anyone that was a child at at the same age as they were brother, sister, cousin, like because your family is not just blood relatives.
Mhm.
In fact, the concept of like keeping strict blood lineages and like the nuclear family is incredibly modern. Especially like the nuclear family was a thing that really only happened in the 1900s.
Mhm.
And like we can see that it really doesn't work
Oh yeah, no, totally.
because it goes against just how human beings function. Like
Mhm.
we are community oriented creatures, and instead we're trying to divide everything down to it's just these households have to be like entirely self-sufficient, and like you can't, and then like we sell services to supplement what would be supplemented, what would just be part of life in other systems, such as like multi-generational organizations, or like not organizations, multiple generation
Mhm.
communities, and like dual sharing societies, and like
Well, okay.
because we charge for shit like we charge for things like child care, therapy, like all this stuff, and it's like we didn't we didn't do that because that was like benefits of living in like multi-generational communities, was that like if you were busy, other people would watch your children,
Yeah, other
or
people would help
like
you.
other people would take care of you when you were sick, other people would like, yeah, that's part of like what living in a community is all about.
Yeah.
But
What does a
capitalism
nuclear
just like
family
threw that
consist
all away.
of? It's a mom, a dad, and is it a single child?
It's usually so. A nuclear family consists largely of a parent. or parents, usually straight couple, like straight monogamous couples, and like okay, straight monogamous couples and their children. This
Okay.
has been expanded, air quotes, through the fight for queer civil rights. That's another thing the nuclear family fucking attacks, because we had to like show that like, see, we're just as normal as the straight couples. For we want to get married monogamously and raise children. That's because like the whole like
Mm-hmm.
like that's, I'm trying to like phrase it correctly, but like the concept of the nuclear family is very much actively detrimental to like so many communities.
I
Like
think.
it's actively detrimental to queer people. It's actively detrimental to divorced people. It's actively detrimental to uh, non-monogamous people, the to the handicapped, to the elderly, to
To just basically anybody that is what's the word? Just anybody that's oppressed, basically.
yeah.
Well, we've been going at it for about 21 minutes. I think it's about time to
Okay.
call it in this stinky, gross sewer level that I'm currently in. Bye, everyone, and remember, eat ass and skate at a moderate speed.
Spade.
Speed!
Bye,
Anyway,
guys. Yeah,
these
I was
cows
going
and
about
non
everybody.
binary